We are back. We are back. We are back. Week 7, Season 2, Episode 7C of your favorite show. Quick Takes is back for its Sunday edition after going 1-0 on the Thursday night football game. 48 and 44 matchups so far. And we're back ready to kick off a 12-game slate on a beautiful sunny Sunday. I hope y'all having a fantastic weekend. Y'all have a even better weekend up ahead with all these wins that your teams are probably gonna get. Hopefully. Um, and let's kick it off. First off, we are kicking off with the game that just finished up right now. Jaguars 32, Patriots 16, across the pond, in London town. Let's break it down real quick. I thought it was a pretty close game. I thought Patriots could have had that game. No turnovers for both quarterbacks. Really not that many sacks. I do believe maybe 3 overall between the two quarterbacks. So a pretty clean game. But the inexperience of a rookie head coach and the inexperience of a rookie quarterback kind of showed. They got away from the run game really early. It was a close enough game where if they emphasize on the run game, maybe it breaks open the whole game. But they got away from that. Doug Peterson, saved his job, essentially saved Trent Baalke's job, because my thing is actually more on the GM not providing enough talent around, or at least the right talent around what the head coach needs. And he's been there for far too long with way too much power. Shad Khan needs to trim down his fat on that front office. However, they still got the win right now. The number 1 overall pick from 2021, Mr. Paid over $55 million himself, Trevor Lawrence, had a decent game where he didn't turn the ball over. He played the game that I believed Drake May should have played. Not that many passes, clean game, short little dinks and dunks, and focus on your run game. But Jags come out of London with a 1-1 record, and we'll see how they fare moving forward. We'll see if they are going to be sellers at the trade deadline, even with the 2-5 record going forward. Now we move on to another team in the AFC East, Titans, going up to Orchard Park this time for sure to take on the Buffalo Bills. And this one, we are rolling with the Buffalo Bills in this one. Why? Because I think Amari Cooper might score a touchdown in his debut game, number 18 for the Buffalo Bills. We're going to have to see the fortunes of the Titans if it even changes, or, any change comes to it with Mason Rudolph being under center rather than Will Levis, which might actually help, like Bryce Young and Andy Dalton to a degree. Will Levis was thrown into the fire, never really had a quarterback to kind of mentor him and show him the ropes. So he still kind of plays like college. Let's see if, Mason Rudolph can help rein that in, see if Will Levis comes out to be more effective when he comes back to start after being injured for this game. Talking about being injured, let's see if James Cook comes back. Davis, I do believe, is injured too, so it's going to be interesting to see if Ty Johnson gets the nod. But if James Cook is back, all I got to say is let James cook. Simple as that. Texans at Packers, one of the most exciting early games of the season. We have to roll with the Packers in this one. Why, you might ask? Because the team that the Texans, the only loss that they have on their record so far is from an NFC North team in the Minnesota Vikings. Packers being at home, I think that's going to help them out a lot. Love versus Stroud, an excellent matchup. But for Stroud, even though he has Diggs, Tank Dell, and all the other weapons, he doesn't have his number 1 weapon in Nico Collins. For him, it's essentially like he's down there somewhere, but he's not. So that comfort level, that, peace of mind that a quarterback should have, maybe he doesn't have a little bit. And hats off to this Hadley defense. People might still be sleeping on them, but after the way Xavier McKinney has started out the year, Jaire Alexander as a shutdown corner on one side, the front 7 being absolutely dominant, Packers are moving some stuff right now. So we have to roll with the Packers in this one. Maybe I do get an egg on my face, but at home, got to roll with the Packers. Eagles at Giants, Saquon's return to New York City. And we got to still roll with the Philadelphia Eagles in this one. Why, you might ask? Because New York's running game, while the passing game might kind of, be showing some life now, even with or without Neighbors, the running game still pretty dormant. They need to focus on that. I know they just have a rookie, Tyron Tracy, kind of emerging right now. Maybe he brings their running game back to life, but without Saquon, that run game was pretty much dormant right now. Without even him being on the roster, it's even worse. So need to focus on that running game to help the offensive line and Daniel Jones out. The Eagles' offensive line against the Giants' D-line is, something to watch out for, because that Eagles' offensive line still has not performed to its very best from a few years ago. That Giants' D-line is kind of functioning very well together, learning each other's, pass rushing tendencies, or even rush defense tendencies to kind of hold it at the line of scrimmage. And then Eagles getting their wide receivers back, I think that kind of puts that over the top, where yes, Neighbors is back, but they have a two-headed elite wide receiver monster against Neighbors by himself. So gotta roll with the Eagles in this one. Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings, another NFC North matchup, and I want to go with the Minnesota Vikings in this one at home, but we are rolling with the Detroit Lions. Why? Because even though Vikings have been extremely, and I mean extremely, proficient on offense and defense, and even possibly special teams, however, that run game still gives me a little bit of hesitancy, because while Aaron Jones is really, really good, don't get me wrong, Detroit Lions have a two-headed monster that's been unstoppable essentially at running back, and then at wide receiver you still have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams to kind of deal with. I know Stephon Gilmore went to the Minnesota Vikings, and it's not even been any sort of news or anything, just under the rug and just dominant over there. But gotta roll with the Lions in this one. Weapons on weapons on weapons on both sides. Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, any and everybody you could think of in this game in the NFC North. But I think Lions still have the underdog in them. I think it will be a very, very close matchup. I think Lions pull it out very close. 31-31, 34-31 possibly. Don't quote me on it. Next one, we do have the Seattle Seahawks trying to get rid of a 3-game skid against the Atlanta Falcons. Unfortunately, we are rolling against the Seattle Seahawks and rolling with the Falcons in this one. Why? Because at this current moment, Kirk Cousins playing essentially a lot better than Geno Smith. One of the reasons why for that will be that offensive line that Seattle is kind of trying to figure out with. But without having people to protect Geno, he's not going to be comfortable. A new offensive coordinator has not been comfortable. On his birthday, the game he had has not been comfortable. So I got to go with the comfort, got to go with the home field advantage that Atlanta is showing back out again. And got to go with the, O-line that has been playing better right now to control the trenches. So we're rolling with the Falcons in this one against the Seahawks. I do believe Kenneth Walker might be missing this game again. Happy birthday to him, by the way. But Falcons on this one. Bengals at Browns. Another AFC North matchup in this one. We are rolling with the Cincinnati Bengals. Why? Because Browns are down and out. They just got rid of Amari Cooper, so they've essentially thrown in their white towel. The rest of the season's pretty much kind of like a Nick Chubb get back to form type of season, and then next year they might do something. I don't know what they're aspiring to, but it's not Super Bowl, so I'm not going to waste my time speaking on them too much. All due respect to the Browns fans. Bengals win this one, the weapons that they have. Hopefully that defensive backroom kind of gels together, wakes up, whatever needs to happen happens. But they need to not just bend or break, they just need to hold it all together now. for Joe Burrow's sake. Next one, we do have the Dolphins at the Colts at the Loud House. We are rolling with the Dolphins in this one. Why? Because I am betting on Snoop's experience against AR and his 50% completion on his 25th start all time between high school, college, and NFL. Snoop Huntley was a Pro Bowler, maybe last season or a year ago. Can't roll that out. Why? Because it's not an easy task. Yes, he was like third string, fourth string quarterback, but he had to go out there to perform. And if you give him the right circumstances, he can perform. Like last week when they actually ran the ball and focused on running the ball, Snoop Huntley was actually, effective as a starting quarterback. And that's what you could take advantage of again. They won't be able to run the ball as effectively with Jonathan Taylor being out. So all the Dolphins need to do, focus, and emphasize the running game and keep the ball out of Snoop Huntley's hand. If you need to pick up some third downs, okay, cool, he could run it, or if he doesn't need to pass it, then he will pass it. But I do not want to see over 23 attempts for Snoop Huntley, and they could get their dub. AR, he still needs to develop as a quarterback. I feel like they're still rushing him in because he's the number 3, number 4 overall pick. I think Joe Flacco should have been their starting quarterback for the rest of this year for them to have any sort of playoff run or playoff success. And then AR kind of develops off of that very soon. But, nobody has the patience to anymore. So we are rolling with the Dolphins in this one. Next one, we do have the Carolina Panthers going up to travel to take on Washington Commanders, and we are rolling with the Commanders in this one. Why? Because we're rolling with Jaden Daniels and his talent over Andy Dalton and his talents. Now, I'm kidding. But at the same time, am I really? There is no weapons for Andy Dalton to throw to. Adam Thielen, he might still be hurt. Deontay Johnson, there was already talks about him getting traded again. There's a lot of dysfunctionality with the Panthers. Can't roll with them. We will roll with the Commanders and the excellent brand of football that they have been playing. Essentially one of the best football that they have been playing since possibly RG3. Commanders fans, let me know if that is the case. Personally, I do believe so. If not, at least from the Taylor Heineke against Tom Brady playoff game. But let's not go back to the past. Let's move on to the future. Next one, we do have KC, Kansas City Chiefs, taking on the 49ers. We are rolling with the 49ers in this one. I think the Pearsall debut, the emotions that it comes along with all of the times that the Niners have lost to the Chiefs in recent memory, not just the 2 Super Bowl losses, but I don't think they've even beat them in the regular season. Chiefs are a little banged up. This is the time to kind of get them. If the refs don't protect them, I think the Niners should be able to go get them. I think this is a gettable game for the Niners, so gotta roll with my fellow Bay Area team until they disappoint me again. Hopefully not, but we will see. Just don't do me dirty again, Niners. Just don't do me dirty. Just manage the clock. That's all needs to happen. Keep Patrick Mahomes off the field and manage the game. That's all needs to happen. Next one, Sunday Night Football. Jets at the Steelers. We are rolling with the Jets. And why am I rolling with the Jets? The only reason is because the Steelers are starting Russell Wilson again. I don't know why. Justin Fields, I know, has not shown what he can be, but he's still a young quarterback that should be the future of your team. But you want to start a quarterback who has $2 million cap hit. Like, even if you let him go, he doesn't really affect it that much. But Mike Tomlin, you know better than I do, so apologies for me questioning you. Maybe you guys go put up 50 points. But rolling with the Jets in this one. We'll see what happens. Raiders at Rams. Gotta roll with the Raiders in this one. Am I confident? No. Will we win? Hopefully. At this point, this team has to show what we are about. Are we gonna go, at least chase a playoff win? Are we gonna just go to the draft? The energy that we come out with, the dominance we come out with, it will show everything. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back very soon for tomorrow's breakdown. Peace, love.